Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Mythic Legions head pack number 1. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collector. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. Alright, taking a closer look at the head pack in the package. This comes in your standard size Mythic Legions package. So if you're an inbox collector or you have all the packages displayed on your shelf, this is going to fit in nicely. Instead of a bio over here, you can see the 6 heads that you get in the pack. Just a little world map there, and then cross-sell standard back, and then you can see everything, almost everything. There's a little baggie with some additional stuff down in there, but you can almost see everything you get. The 6 heads are prominently displayed, so that's the most important thing. So let's open up the package and see everything that we get. All right, here's everything opened up and out of the package, and let's just start off with the heads. First off, we get this really nice panther head. That I don't own one of these heads as of right now, so this is pretty great. I love that it's all black. I love these bright neon green eyes. And inside of the accessory pack, you get a couple of other items that go with this head. You get this enlarged neck piece that this will pop down in, like so. And that'll nest down in there and plug into the figure in the neck peg. So you get this enlarged neck and back area. It comes molded with this piece of armor on it that's brown and has some silver and gold, and then this big beautiful blue gem, purplish gem right there, and then this bronze piece on the back, and then places for shoulder pauldrons to plug in. So that's a nice effect. You also get this panther tail to plug into if you are using a body that does have a pug on the back side of the figure. Then you can plug this in if you so choose. You don't have to. Next up, we have this nice female head sculpt, beautiful paintwork on the face and on the makeup. The eyes are like a bright green color. You can see a little bit of a seam right there. She does come with the neck peg already installed, and then some nice wash and dry brushing on the hair, individual strands that are sculpted, and this looks really nice. Next up, we have this bog goblin head, and he already comes with his neck peg extension already installed, so the head can swivel like that and kind of tilt up and down a little bit. You can see some little spikes on the side here. Nice glossy paint work on this to make it look like it's nice and wet, as he is a bog goblin. He also comes with 2 accessories in the bag as well. The first up is this nice headpiece that's got some orange paint. So I don't know if this is supposed to be some like blood splatter from some sort of creature that bleeds orange, or if it's some rust, but you really only get it right here on this top horn and on this backside. On mine, maybe they're different, but this is nicely painted. There's some nice, beautiful gradient work inside there on the helmet, on all the spikes, and then some bronze spikes on each side, and then black spikes down the sides. So this looks really cool. And then this helmet here just sits on top of the head like that and really changes the look of this particular head, makes it look a lot more menacing, which is really cool. The other neat thing about this head is there's 2 different tongues. So it comes with the smaller tongue accessory already installed, and you can just sort of get in there and lift this out, and you see there's a little plug down in there, and then this is the extra tongue that comes with it. You just snap that in like so, and then he has this long slimy nasty tongue that's like jumping out and trying to attack you. So that's kind of cool. I really dig that. Let's pop the smaller tongue back in for right now, then we'll probably see what that longer tongue looks like. This is a little cumbersome to do, but there you go. You pop it in, no problem. Next up, we have a snarling, growling, menacing vampire head. Looks really nice. There's some beautiful gradients in the ears and around the eyes. No pupils, so this thing looks scary. Yellow teeth. Looks really, really cool. Next up, we have this dwarf, which looks really nice. You've got this long beard with some nice dry brushing and wash in there. Nice beady little black eyes. I don't know if these horns are removable. They are, so that's really cool. If you want to mix and match the horns, you certainly can, or if you want to turn these or rotate them in any way. It does have this red design on his helmet, and then he has the last accessory in the pack, which is this dwarf neck peg, which plugs in just like that, so that it'll sit a little bit further, and I guess maybe to let this beard get out of the way. So there's a look at the dwarf head, and then we have this red demon head. We've seen this head many times, but I don't know if we've ever gotten it in a red color. Maybe we haven't, which is why they're giving it to us here in this head pack. But you can see some nice black line work and wash all over the head, and the eyes seem to be the same bright green color that the panther eyes are, which is really cool. And I happen to have a couple of red figures that we're going to put this on. So now that we've taken a look at all the heads, let's get some figures out here and see which heads these guys work best with. All right, starting off with the red demon head, I do have a couple of red Mythic Legions figures that I think may work well with this. So we're going to bring him out. I have the red Krampus figure that I bought some custom parts and made a custom Hellboy figure out of. So that's not a standard Mythic Legions head or right hand of doom. I bought these parts off of a seller in Canada, and then I painted them myself. So you know, just in case you're interested in the Hellboy head there. And then let's bring in the unknown one. I think these may be some figures that work pretty well with this red demon head right here. So the color is a bit off with this guy right here, so let's pop this off. Let's see here. We'll need to remove the neck peg for this to work, but you could pop him on there. It's a little loose, but again, the colors are off here. So this is a much more like bluish purpley red, and this is more of a bright red. I think this is probably going to work better with the red Krampus figure. So let's pull this. Let's get this head off and then pop this head on. So if you do have the red Krampus figure, you can see how well that looks, and looks pretty nice. I think the colors match okay. This is a little darker here on his chest, but he does look good. So let's pop that back on. If anybody is interested in that Hellboy set, I think it cost me about $60 for the shoulder pauldrons, the head. It comes with a secondary head with the horns sawed off, and the head and the hand. I think I paid like $60 Canadian for that, and it's really nice. I dig it. Oh my goodness. So his neck peg came all the way off. So let's just go ahead and put this back on and pop that in there. And man, that looks really dope. I like that bright red head popping out of that all black armor. I think that looks really, really cool. So you can really do a lot with this head. You don't necessarily have to have a red body to put this red demon head on. I think you can get away with experimenting and getting some different expressions and different looks out of your figures. As long as the figure's like all armored up, so you can't tell if the skin tone is supposed to be red or not underneath. Why is this not staying in? There we go. But yeah, that looks really nice. So let's, why don't we leave this guy out here, the unknown one. Let's leave him out here and take a look at the Black Panther head next and see how well that works on a couple of different figures. So let's get these guys out of the way and let's see what else we can figure out here. All right, let's bring in, is this guy's name Valak? I have a really hard time remembering all the Mythic Legions characters' names, but let's start off with this guy. Let's remove his bow, just so that it's out of the way, and let's remove this piece here, and it looks like we'll probably also have to remove his shoulder pauldrons as well, which is really going to mess up this cape, but it's all right. It's okay. Anything for you guys. Now let's see, does this character have a flap? It does not, so I'm not going to be able to put the tail on this guy, but if we were to, let's see, probably what is the easiest way to do this is probably put this on first, and then put this on next, and then pop the head on. There you have a panther character with his armor on. And I don't know if that neck should be sitting up a little higher or not, but it looks kind of weird. It looks a little strange. But that does look pretty dope, though. I love having like a panther character on my shelf because I don't have one right now. So that's really cool. Let's see how he looks over here with this guy. We're going to make sure, I don't want to mix up these neck pegs. So let's pop that on, and then because we're going to leave this guy out and see him again here in a minute. So let's move his stuff off to the side. We may leave him out for the vampire head, but let's look here. Take his head off, shoulder pauldrons off, and then this neck armor, and then let's take the neck peg, pop that on, and then slide this down. Will that work with those belts on? I'm not sure. I can get in over that belt. There we go. It's not bad. And then pop the head on. And does this guy have a hole? No, he does not. But there you have it. I think that looks pretty tough with all that armor. I think the armor matches here to this sort of like this brown armor that's on the top, and you know, with having these belts, it almost looks like the armor crisscrosses. So that's a happy little accident that I dig. But yeah, like this panther head is no joke. That guy looks really dope. I really dig it. All right, so let's get all of these taken back apart and put back together, and then let's look at the vampire head. All right, I'm going to bring in all of the little the vampire guys that I happen to have for Mythic Legions. Bring in the Hordak tribute figure. This is the only other vampire head that I have. And let's take a look here. I am going to need the neck peg from the unknown one. So let's start with him since his head is already off. Let's pop that on, and pop on that screaming vampire head, and good lord, that really just transforms the look of that figure. It just looks absolutely incredible. I really, really dig that. That looks really nice. Now this guy in particular, whoa, has a much larger piece of armor here, so let's go ahead and take that off, and let's go ahead and use his neck peg, since I don't have an extra one for this vampire. And then let's put that on there and see how that looks. Well, that's a really tight fit. Doesn't want to pop on very well, but yeah, that's not as successful. Maybe it's because the neck peg's too tight. It sits up a little too high, but anyway, I you know, it's a vampire figure, so I wanted to bring it out. Let's Let's put this back on. Pop on. Man, that's a really, really tight fit. And then bring in this little guy who I just absolutely love. I just love the fact that these little vampires would use other vampires as like pets. But this is one gnarly head sculpt. It's one of my favorites. I just absolutely love this head sculpt. But if you wanted to have a little vampire little person, that's what that would look like. And man, that actually looks really dope. It's actually pretty terrifying. I wouldn't want to see that guy coming at me in the dark. And then if you wanted to have like, I think, you know, probably what's going to be most successful is Valak here, because you could have like an extra, this could be like what he looks like when he takes his hood down, because these faces look very similar. The eyes are the same color eyes, the same painting around the eyes, and that's a really dope looking figure, whether you use that piece or not. I think that looks really, really cool. So let's see here. I only have one female figure, so let's do the female head next, because I think that that'll be a quick and easy one to do. All right, now we did just take a look at Lady Averona last week, and if you missed that review, you can check it out right there. This is the only female that I have, so we're gonna see how this works. Let's see here. Let's take her head off, and it looks like that neck peg is made down in there, so we're not gonna need this one. Let's see if I can pop it off easily enough. Yep. And then, oh man, is the shoulder armor going to get in the way? No, not really. You just kind of tuck it down, and there you have it. There is Lady Averona. Maybe her good version of herself with this head sculpt. And man, I really dig that. I may actually leave her on my shelf like this, because that is pretty dope. Now, she can only look to her right, and to her left just a little bit. That hair it is soft, does get out of the way. She can't really look up any at all, but she's not bad looking. And yeah, I actually really dig that. I think I'm gonna leave her on my shelf like that. That's pretty dope. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Next up, let's take a look at the dwarf head sculpt, and this is the only dwarf that I have, and I have done a little bit of custom paint work on this. I have painted some of his belt and his loin. This is the dwarf Legion builder, so it doesn't come with a lot of paint apps, so I kind of decoed it out a little bit, added some wash to the beard and some extra gold to the head. But let's pop this off, see if I can leave that neck peg on, and let's take this neck peg out. And then there you have it. I really dig that. That looks great. Again, this is another one that I think I may leave on my shelf like this. I think he looks pretty incredible. But, you know, you don't actually just have to use a dwarf body for this particular head sculpt. If you wanted to, you know, use like a barbarian, let's pop this head off. And, you know, put that on. You could maybe leave it up a little bit. You could do that as well. You know, you don't have to just leave it on a dwarf body. I think he looks cool on a dwarf body, no doubt. It's clearly what he was made for. But yeah, I think to me this looks pretty dope, and I may leave him like this on my shelf, because as much as I enjoyed this head sculpt here, I think it looks great. It doesn't have a lot of personality to it. So I think leaving this guy on my shelf like this will give him a little personality. So let's turn our attention to the bog goblin. All right, I have two figures here that I think will work great for this bog goblin. We've got a warrior, and we've got, I know this guy's got a particular name, but I can't place it right now. But I love that he's kind of short and stubby, but he's also got all this gnarly, like, rusted armor which makes a lot of sense with the bog goblin who would live in a swamp somewhere. So why don't we start with the warrior here, and let's take his massive head off and pop that on, and that does not look, oh sorry, warrior's tail keeps popping off. That looks pretty cool. I'm not upset with that. You've got an armored up bog goblin here who just looks great. And oh, I forgot. Let's take a look at that armor, that helmet piece, and man, I think that really just changes the look of the figure completely. Oh man, this looks great. Looks incredible. This is probably my favorite head sculpt out of the entire wave of 6 heads. Let's put him over here, and then let's take this guy here and see if I can get him to pop off at the neck peg. Get it all. I couldn't. Let's take this off, and then, yep, there we have it. Boy, that looks great. That looks so awesome. Again, this is probably going to go on my shelf like this because I really wanted a bog goblin for my collection. And then popping the headdress on just makes it look even better. What do you guys think? Do you like the headdress on or the headdress off? Let me know in the comments down below. I think I'm going to go headdress off, and then let's see about that tongue. Let's see if this is needing to stay in there. God, I think so. I think that's how this is going to go on my shelf. So yeah, I think that's pretty dope. And I'll just put this other head away. But there you have it. There's the last of the little heads. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching this episode. I really appreciate it. Thanks for all the likes, the comments, the new subscribers. You guys are amazing and mean the world to me. Please hit us up over at Instagram.com/Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I am the Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I'm your host, Mark. And remember, I will see you in the toy aisles.